Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Talking today a little bit about parole. I mean, we just had a disgraceful episode there where we saw Charles Bronson denied parole, despite the fact that he's done nothing that would terrorise the public for the last 48 years. The only offences that he's committed are against the system, and believe me, I've been in the system long enough to know that it's a system that needs it. They need it. They need to be dealt with. But you're not going to get the parole board to see that. They're just terrified that Charles Bronson's going to go out there and cause mayhem. He isn't. Anyway, there has been a statement today, and if you have a look online, you'll see it, that in the last 2 years, 340 life sentence prisoners who have been released have been readmitted to jail, called back into jail for committing offences. One individual who was serving life imprisonment for murder was released, teamed up with another ex-prisoner and committed another murder. So that's how clever the parole board are. Anyway, they're now saying that these people who are reoffending when they get out on licence, are causing a great problem for the prison service. Absolutely, they will be. You see, the prison system is geared, it's based, listen, I'll tell you what I believe, I believe that the prison system is geared to maintain control of the public. It isn't there to punish offenders, really. Certain offenders, yes, serious offenders, murderers, rapists, child molesters, serious bank robbers, big white-collar fraud merchants, they're definitely due for imprisonment. But people who don't pay fines, people who don't have TV licenses, don't do that. You know, people who break minor bylaws. I saw a man from Burnley, this is God's honest truth, I think he was about 70 at the time, and he was put in prison for walking his dog in a park in Burnley. And they said it was against the bylaws, and he said, I've been walking my dog in this park, through this park, for the last 40 years, and I ain't going to stop now. So he refused to pay the fine that the magistrates imposed on him for breach of the bylaw, and he was imprisoned in strange ways. He said he wasn't going to pay the fine, but he actually lasted 3 days, I believe. Everywhere he went, people were barking at him, woof, woof, and all that. That's the staff, by the way. Not just the inmates, that was the staff. He couldn't take it, and his fine was paid, and out he went. But believe me, there's no point that imprisoning 70-year-old men for walking their dogs in park. That is an abuse of the system. And Victorian jails such as Armley and Walton Jail and the Scrubs, Pentonville, Wandsworth, these places have long passed their sell-by date. Get rid of them. They're in prime locations anyway. They just knock the bloody things down and build houses on them. We're short of houses, you see. And if you're going to have a prison, have a proper prison for people who are seriously in need of incarceration, not vulnerable old men, and people who can't pay the fines. Listen, if you could pay your fine, you'd pay your fine, wouldn't you? You wouldn't go to prison. But for a lot of people, that's an option. I mean, when you get to a certain stage, it's certainly a great deal cheaper than a nursing home, isn't it? Do you know how much a nursing home is? Somewhere round about £500 to £1,000 a month. I mean, it's ridiculous. Maybe more than that. I'm not in a nursing home myself, am I? I'm at home with my wife. But I know people who are in nursing homes, and it's incredibly expensive. Well, it will be, won't it? They've got to provide you meals, they've got to provide you with medical care. But you get to prison, it's all on the state, isn't it? So what's the prison going to end up like? It's going to end up as a geriatric nursing home where 70, 80-year-old blokes are saying, I tell you what, I've hated that bastard for long enough. I tell you what, I'm going to get myself some 12 months free care. Nip round and knuckle the bastard. Stuff like that. These things happen. Anyway, I'm absolutely sure that the parole system isn't working. The prison system is definitely not working. I mean, I've seen people in prison for not paying a parking fines and stuff like that. How mad is that? That is just crazy. And have you seen what they're doing these days? They call them safety cameras, yeah? That's a euphemism for cash grabbing machines, yeah? They put these speed cameras everywhere you go. And listen, the speed cameras ain't just speed cameras, you know. They're all linked up to the police computers. So they're watching you everywhere you go. Why? And another thing, listen, I have been around a long time, me. Every time we get a bank holiday, there's a major crash on the motorways. The M6. I've never seen the M6 closed as many times. Yesterday there was a big crash up near Manchester Airport. Smashed. They had to get the air ambulance out and all that. How come they do that? I mean, it's been open for 40 years, 40 odd years, the M6. Suddenly there's crashes all over the place and the motorway's shut. I mean, I don't live too far away from the M6, and when it's really rumbling, when it's going, you can hear it in the distance, you know. Not hear it at bank holidays because they shut the motorway. Why do they do that? I'm not sure why they're doing it, but they're trying to put people off using motor vehicles. Hence, everywhere you go, the speed cameras. And if you go into Wales, they're going to operate a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. I mean, I don't think you've ever tried driving a Ferrari at 20 miles an hour or an Aston Martin. They don't go very well at that speed. It's madness, folks. And that's what's happening in society today. The parole system's knackered. The jails are burst into overcrowding. They're releasing people on parole. Murderers. Not Charles Bronson, though. No, murderers, yeah. Child molesters like Gary Glitter, yeah. Paul Gadd. Release him. Not Charles Bronson. Why? Because Charles Bronson has pissed the system off. And he's staying in prison to show people what happens if you don't kiss the backside of the government. Right, that's the way it goes. Huh? I hope I've enlightened you a little bit there. Probably not, but anyway, that's my little rant for today on Tales for the Jails. Parole system is buggered. Yeah, we all know that. And now, where is it? Oh, it's got it on here somewhere. Somebody's nicked me song dinger. Oh, it's here. Last warning, folks. It's time to escape. Unless you want to hear something really grotesque. It's me doing Tom Jones, by the way. I've got a bit of a sore throat today, so it's going to be really horrible. I suggest if you don't like it, time to go. There you go. Last warning. This is me doing Sex Bomb by Tom Jones, and I don't really know this song too well, but I'm going to give it a go. Spy on me, baby, use satellite, infrared to see me move through the night. Ain't gonna fire, shoot me right. I don't like the way you fight. I love the way you fight. Now you've found the secret code I used to wash my lonely blues, so I can't deny or lie, 'cause you're the only one to make me fly. Sex bomb, you're a sex bomb. You can give it to me when I need to come along. Sex bomb, you're my sex bomb, and baby you can turn me on. You know what you're doing, don't you? Oh, don't get me wrong, ain't gonna do you no harm. The bomb's made for loving and you shoot it far. I'm your main target, come and help me ignite. Ooh! Love struggle, holding you tight, hold me tight. Make me explode, although you know the route to go. To sex be slow, slow baby. I must react to these claims of those who say, sex bomb, you're a sex bomb. It's terrible, innit? I give in. I can't sing that. Tom Jones can, when he's got the art of noise behind him. All I've got behind me is the grumbling tones of Sutton's gravelly voice. Yeah. I hope you have escaped that unscathed. Tales from the Jails.